Right now, something that I think raised the ire of a lot of people, thousands of angry shoppers in fact, are threatening to boycott Westfield Chermside if the retail giant proceeds with a controversial plan to introduce paid parking next year. The Centre Management have confirmed earlier this month that they'd sought permission from Brisbane City Council to install boom gates and ticketing booths at the entrance to all parking lots at Westfield Chermside. And one of their shoppers, Peter Graham, was outraged. So he created a group on the social networking website Facebook. And that was a couple of weeks ago. Since then, more than 8,500 outraged Queenslanders have joined to voice their concerns, with most promising that they will shop elsewhere. They will take their shopping from Westfield Chermside if they introduce paid parking next year. That's the threat from shoppers. 8,500 of them. And we want your response to this too. Do you agree with the plan to make shoppers pay to park at Westfield Chermside? Have your say on 1332 tonight. Joining us on the line to give us the retailer's point of view on this is Scott Driscoll from the Retailers Association. And Scott, you're not surprised by the swift response that this website's got, the Facebook?
G'day, Walter.
Good evening. Yeah.
I think, frankly, this is something that most shoppers would be outraged by. Westfield's going for a cash grab like this, putting the viability of store owners at risk and really creating an absolute uproar from consumers. It's not what you want moving into a new year in 2009.
Are you predicting a mass exodus of shoppers from what is basically the city's biggest and most popular shopping centre?
Look, if Westfield go ahead with this, it'll definitely affect their patronage. The reality is Westfield has made a sport out of shopping, and now they want to charge shoppers to play. I think if they go ahead with this, and I'm still hopeful that common sense will reign, retailers will be negatively affected. That's obviously my primary concern. And their patrons, the consumers, they'll be forced to pay for doing what they're used to doing for free, and that's not on, and people will, by human nature, look for alternatives.
I like that line. That they've made a sport out of shopping and they want to force the consumers to pay, to play.
Absolutely. I mean, these guys, let's not sort of, beat around the bush on this. Westfield is a monolithic corporation. They make squillions of dollars, nationally, making money out of retailers, leases and the like. And this is just a very greedy cash grab. There is no other way of putting it. Very greedy cash grab from consumers, mums, dads, families out there, people that are simply going about their business. I mean, I've heard, Walter, they're talking about limiting it to 2 or 3 hours. Now, I know plenty of people that can go down to Westfield at Chermside and spend well in excess of that. In fact, Westfield have built a business out of keeping people there longer. They've got restaurants, pubs, they've got options for meals, coffee, aside from the shopping and the cinemas. Well,
this is the whole thing. The culture of shopping has changed from just shop and grab and get your gear and go. It's a destination, isn't it? It's an experience.
Absolutely. And when you see the biggest shopping centre in the Southern Hemisphere, as Westfield Chermside puts itself out there proudly being, developing and growing their offering, all unbeknownst to retailers and consumers that they had this dirty little plan that in mid-2009 they were going to start to slug you to turn up. I think the embrace and the warm and fuzzies that they're experiencing to date might just go a bit cold.
It just feels to me then that, not just Westfield, but other shopping centres too that are doing similar things, have deliberately designed this experience feeling for us in shopping, sucked us right into the whole experience where we go along, we see a movie, we grab a bite to eat, we do the grocery shopping, we know it's going to take more than 3 hours, because a movie's 2 hours straight up now. And then they've, I guess, I don't know, it just seems like they've designed it so that we now will be ensnared into this trap to have to stay longer and then pay the price.
Well, there's no doubt. The corporate objective of Westfield has been to not only do that with its consumers, but to put it out there to potential leaseholders. That is exactly what they do. They have anchor clients and anchor tenants that attract people to do their major grocery shop, for example. They have their specialty clients or tenants who are there to do top-ups. I mean, they've built the business around this. This is not some thing that they've arrived at the end of 2008 and gone, oh gee, shock and horror, we better actually start charging for parking. I mean, I know the argument that they're putting out there, that it's to dissuade people who might not be parking there for legitimate shopping or retail purposes. Well, the way around that is to have a validation system where anyone who does any sort of shopping, attending a cafe, doing whatever it happens to be at Westfield Chermside, gets their parking ticket validated, and it is absolutely free. I mean, that is what the simple answer here is. And if they were genuinely trying to solve a parking problem rather than make a quick buck, that's what they'd do, but that's not what they're proposing.
Well, that's exactly what Australia Fair does on the Gold Coast. They have a 3-hour limit, but if you've done any spending of at any of their retail outlets, and you can prove it with your docket, it's as easy as that. You whip it out of your wallet or your purse, and that will show that you're a genuine shopper. You're not a public transport commuter just taking up parking spaces.
No, well, that's right. I mean, I've got the memo from Westfields to retailers here in front of me, Walter, and, you know, they're capping it at 3 hours. And as we've said, you know, that is a furphy to suggest that the movement that Westfield in no small part has been driving towards keeping people in these centres and developing centres to keep people engaged and spending money for as much of the day as they possibly can, to suggest that 3 hours maxes out the genuine shoppers is just a nonsense, and I don't think anyone buys that.
Yeah.